They laughed not just behind my back. To my face, mocked the cracks in my voice, pointed at the tremble in my hands. Said I'd never make it, said I was too soft, too small, too slow. Said I didn't have what it takes, and I believed them for a while. You see, the worst prison isn't built of bars. It's built of words, of whispers in the dark that sound like truth, of voices in your head that wear your own face. I fed those voices, let them feast on myself, let them grow fat on my silence. I smiled while I bled. I stayed quiet while they carved me hollow, and they mistook my silence for surrender, my patience for weakness, my stillness for defeat. They were wrong, but I wasn't ready to show them. Not yet, because first I had to break, and break I did not once, not twice, again and again and again, until I forgot what it felt like to be whole, until the only thing I could feel was rage. But even that they tried to steal, told me to stay calm, told me to forgive, told me to be the bigger person. No, I am not your piece, I am not your lesson. I am not the canvas for your cruelty to become art. I was never weak. I was waiting for the fire to rise high enough to burn away every lie you fed me. Waiting for the hunger to grow sharp enough to cut through the chains you wrapped around my voice. And now I remember. I remember every sneer, every smug little smirk, every eye that watched me fall and looked away, every hand that could helped but stayed tucked in a pocket. I remember it all. Don't tell me to let it go. Don't tell me to be kind. Don't tell me it's not that deep. It is, it always was. Because this pain it built me. This silence it sharpened me. This rage it woke me up. You thought I was broken. I was becoming. You thought I was weak. I was learning. You thought I was done. I was just beginning. And when I rise, not if, when I rise, it won't be gentle, it won't be polite, it won't be what you expect, because I'm not here to earn your approval anymore. I'm not here to be palatable. I'm not here to play nice. You don't get to clip my wings and then blame me for not flying. You don't get to bury me and then act surprised when I grow teeth in the dark. You don't get to name me fragile and then tremble when I shatter the silence. No more nodding. No more bowing, no more pretending your comfort matters more than my truth. This is where it starts, right here in the ashes, where you thought you left me for dead, where you thought the story ended. You never understood, don't need a crown to feel powerful. I don't need an army to declare war. I don't need your validation to know what I am. What I am is inevitable. You tried to erase me, but I turned every erasure into a scar, and every scar into a scripture, and every scripture into a vow that I whispered to the dark. They will regret every word they said, because I heard them all, and I never forgot, and I never will. So go ahead, laugh again, doubt again, watch again, but this time don't blink, because the one you thought would fade. I'm not fading, I'm becoming the storm. You ever watch a storm crawl across the horizon? How the sky darkens not suddenly, but slowly. A whisper at first, a hum, a warning. That's what I became, a warning wrapped in silence. They thought I was still broken, still bleeding, still begging, but I was studying. Every time they laughed, I listened. Every time they doubted, I learned. Every time they stepped on I counted their footsteps. I let them think I was harmless. Let them think I was too damaged to rise. Let them think they won, because predators only look forward. They never look down. But I was there in the dirt, in the cracks beneath their boots, in the shadow of every smug smile. And from there I grew fangs. They called me dramatic, emotional, too much, as if my fire was an inconvenience, as if my power needed their permission. Let me tell you something. You don't survive what I survived and stay soft. You don't walk through hell and come back whole. No, you come back changed, hungrier, harder, colder, and that cold, it's not numbness, it's control. Because now I choose when to burn. Now I choose who to scorch. They say revenge is a dish best served cold. Then call me the frostbite that never fades. Call me the winter they never saw coming. I gave them chances. So many, too many. To do better. To treat me like more than disposable. To see the storm in my eyes and step back. But they didn't. They kept pushing, kept cutting, kept talking. So now I stop asking. I stop waiting. I stop hoping. Hope is a pretty lie dressed in white. I don't wear white anymore. I wear war. Every glance they gave me like I was nothing, I turned to armor. Every word they used to belittle me, I carved into blades. Every doubt, every dismissal, every you can't, I built into a throne made of everything they said I'd never be. They wanted a puppet. They made a threat. They wanted silence. They birthed a voice loud enough to split skies. They wanted weaknesses, and I became wrath, not chaos, not madness, no precision, the kind of rage that doesn't scream. It speaks slowly, clearly, with purpose. They don't fear the storm that howls. They fear the one that stalks, the one that moves quiet, certain. And that's me now. I don't chase approval. I don't beg for love. I don't explain myself to people who never care to understand. You thought I was weak. You saw my quiet and mistook it for submission. You saw my kindness and called it fragility. You saw my wounds and called me broken. You couldn't have been more wrong. Kindness is not weakness. Silence is not surrender. And scars are proof I survived what would have killed you. I buried who I was to become who I needed. I shed the skin of who you expected to wear the truth of who I am. Unapologetic, unforgiving, unstoppable, because I've learned they only value your silence when your voice threatens their power. They only call you crazy when your clarity terrifies them. They only call you villain when your truth scorches their lies. So be it. Call me villain, call me monster, call me anything you want, just remember, you made me dot with every bruise, with every betrayal, with every ounce of venom you spat and expected me to swallow. You built this, and now you'll face it. You'll watch as the one you laughed at becomes the name you whisper in fear. You'll watch as the one you dismissed becomes the force that topples your world. You wanted weak. You should have killed me when I was dot, because now I see it. Now I see what I am, and I will never unsee it again. You wanted me to heal. Fine, but healing doesn't always look like peace. Sometimes it looks like fury, like fire licking the walls you built to keep me caged, like steel where there used to be skin, like thunder where once there was only begging. This is me healed, not soft, not sweet, not saved, evolved. You were counting on me to stay broken. You liked me best when I was silent, easier to ignore, easier to control, easier to pretend I didn't matter. But silence is dead, and in its place, something else lives now, something you can't understand, something you can't measure, something you should have feared from the start. They always say, be the bigger person, but bigger doesn't mean quieter. Bigger doesn't mean letting it go. Bigger doesn't mean swallowing the pain so no one else gets uncomfortable. No. Being bigger means knowing exactly what was done to you and refusing to carry it quietly. You don't get to hurt me and then tell me how to heal. You don't get to mock my suffering and then run when I rise with teeth, because I'm not rising to be pretty. I'm not rising to be liked. I'm rising to end this dot. To bury the shame, to kill the guilt you made me wear like a chain, to set fire to the version of me that bent just to keep you warm. I bent too far, cracked under your expectations, shattered under your silence. And when I broke, you left me with the weight, the whispers, the rotting silence of your approval I no longer crave. Do you get it yet? I don't want to be your redemption arc. I don't want to be the story you tell about how people change. I'm not here to teach you a lesson. I'm here to burn it all down and rebuild on the ash, because what I am now, it's not gentle. It's not delicate, it's divine. It's war given form, a reckoning with eyes and you. You still think I care what you think. Still think your opinion shapes my worth. Still think your comfort defines my morality. It doesn't. You thought I'd stay small forever, but I was never small. I was just quiet, and you mistook quiet for weak. Now hear me clearly. I'm not the shadow you left behind. I'm not the whisper you hoped would fade. I am the echo that grows louder the more you run. I am the reflection in your mirror that won't disappear. I am every word you spoke and cruelty turned weapon, turned anthem, turned prophecy. I am the scream you tried to bury, now unearthed and deafening. You wanted me weak, because weak was safe, weak was predictable. Weak didn't scare you, but I do now, don't I? You feel it, don't lie. That chill crawling up your spine, that twitch in your gut that whispers something's changed. Because I'm not walking into rooms like I used to. I don't ask to be seen. I make you look, I don't beg to be heard. I speak, and the room listens, because I've become undeniable. Not because of your acceptance, but in spite of it. You thought you could write me off, erase me, ignore me, reduce me to a footnote in your story. But this is my story, and I'm not some tragic subplot. I'm the turning point, the breaking point, the moment the narrative shifts and never returns. I am not what you hoped I'd be. You wanted soft and forgettable. You wanted obedient. You wanted grateful for scraps. But what you get is terrifying, unyielding, unrepentant. I will not apologize for becoming the thing that survived. You want the version of me that needed your love. She's dead. You buried her. You want the version that still cared what you thought. She's dust. Now, blown away by the breath of who I am. I don't care if you're afraid. I hope you are, because I'm not done. This rise is not a peak. It's a beginning. A promise he tried to kill my spirit. I fed it instead. You tried to crush my voice. I sharpened it instead. You tried to drown me. I grew gills and learned to breathe in the abyss, and now I live there in the places that used to hurt, in the memories that used to break me. I made a home in the hollow and turned it into a throne. I am not coming back for your forgiveness. I am coming back for everything you said I couldn't have, everything you said I didn't deserve, everything you tried to keep from me, and I will take it loudly, boldly, without shame. You want to call me villain? Then let me show you what a villain truly is. Not chaos, not cruelty, not mindless destruction. Justice with fire, with precision, with a kind of fury only the broken can forge. Because the truth is simple. I'm not who I was. I'm not what you expected. I'm not even what I hoped I'd be. I'm something else. Now something born of ruin and rage, something beautiful in its terror, something sacred in its fury, something unstoppable. They say revenge doesn't fix anything, but that's where they're wrong. It fixes me, because this rage, this burn that won't go out, this fire that devours everything in its path, it was never a flaw. It was fuel, and now I'm ablaze. This isn't about petty payback. This isn't about evening a score. This is about correction, balance, the return of gravity to a world that spat in my face and thought I'd never rise again. Watch me watch as I gather every broken piece you left behind, not to glue them back, but to sharpen them into weapons. Watch as I walk through the ruins you thought would hold me down, not to mourn, but to reign, because I am done surviving. Now I conquer, now I claim, and you get to witness the price of underestimating me. This is the part where the crowd falls silent. This is the part where the villain doesn't die, but wins down, where the monster they tried to bury crawls out of the grave and teaches them why it was feared in the first place. You called me too intense. Good intensity melts masks. You called me unhinged. Perfect. Hinges are for doors. I'm a battering ram. You said I was too much. then choke on it because I'm not shrinking anymore. I'm expanding like smoke, like wildfire, like the truth you tried so hard to drown. I gave them a chance to walk away, gave them mercy I didn't owe. But they stayed, they pushed, they smiled while they carved their names into my pain. And now their names will echo in the halls of my victory, not as champions, as warnings. Tell the ones who whispered behind my back that I heard every word. Tell the ones who smiled to my face and stabbed my spine that I still feel the blades and I've learned to dance with them. Tell them I'm not coming quietly. Tell them I am the reckoning. They wanted me to play dead. I played patient. They wanted me to disappear. I turned invisible, then sharpened my shadow into a blade. And now I cut through every lie, every label, every limit they tried to bind me with. Do you see it? Look closer. This isn't just a rise, it's a resurrection, not of who I was, of who I was always meant to be. I don't want their forgiveness, I want their silence. I want the look in their eyes when they realize they lost, not because I played their game, but because I burned the board. You thought I was weak. You were never paying attention. I was just gathering storm. Every time you left me in the cold, I learned how to build fire. Every time you laughed while I bled, I learned how to cauterize the wound with nothing but will. Every time you turned your back, I turned the silence into steel. And now I'm not asking, not begging, not explaining. I'm taking back the voice you tried to silence. Taking back the space I was told I didn't deserve. Taking back the dignity you crushed beneath your heels. And I will take it loud, take it violently, take it with no apology, because I am not sorry, not for the rage, not for the scars, not for the vengeance, blooming like wildfire in my chest. You should have known. You don't feed someone poison and expect them to die quietly. Sometimes they swallow it and learn to use it. Now the venom lives in my veins. Now every heartbeat sounds like war drums. Now every breath is a declaration. I will not, kneel not more your comfort, not for your approval, not for the peace you only offered. Once I was too broken to accept it. Peace is for the ones who never bled for it. I didn't bleed to be calm. I bled to win, and I am winning now. Not because you allowed it, not because I was chosen, but because I clawed my way back with nothing but fury and grit. You crowned yourself while I was silent. Now I'm the one holding the throne, not because I begged for it, but because I built it. From ash, from bone, from every you'll never make it hurled like a curse. I turned your curses into scripture, and my gospel is this. You were wrong, wrong about me, wrong about what I could become, wrong to think I'd stay down because I never needed your light. I found fire in my own chest. I never needed your hand. I learned to stand alone, and now I rise not as a survivor, as a sovereign. So let them talk, let them scramble, let them watch in horror as the thing they tried to kill becomes the thing that rewrites their world. I won't hide anymore. I won't soften. I won't wait. I rise not with thunder in my lungs, with blood that sings of battles won in silence, with eyes that no longer ask but command. This is the reckoning, and I am the sword. I am the storm. I am the proof that power doesn't ask to exist. It declares itself. So if you're still watching, watch closely, because I am done being your victim. I am done being your regret. I am the fire you lit, thinking you could control it. You were wrong. You thought I was weak. Watch me rise.